What's up, y'all? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I had to get a few things ready. It's always something, right? So here we are, y'all. Here we are. I'm always, making little changes to the office, if you will. All right, let's go ahead and get this music. Get that cut down a little bit. There we go. There we go. All right, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. We go. Welcome to the FLUX Vision. I your host, W.L. White the Third. I'll be a facilitator and never help you navigate through the flux continuum. Lately, we've been working with the first book, right? And as you guys know, we went through this guy yesterday, Tholen Liebenberg, and Tholen has just became Intech. Okay, we find him in a geostationary orbit around Earth. Now, we did the recap on this guy. There we go. I'm changing the picture out, y'all. It's relevant for you guys to see what character we actually working on. This is Pulse, okay? His real name is Jonathan Watson. We'll be looking at him today, and we'll be dealing with the character W.L. White III, the reporter, the documentarian of the Flux Continuum. That's what we'll be doing today. First, we're gonna run through a few things like we always do. We got to get that done. Welcome everybody. Hey everybody, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? You just coming in, want to say welcome. So so this is what we're doing, okay? Bam. Right? Everybody knows I'm gonna keep pushing this until I get there. You guys on this weekend, I have been looking at the calendar. I think that I'm gonna change a few things. I think I'll be driving Thursday. So normally we do the Flux Vision show on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. We're gonna change that. Okay. We will stay on Mountain Standard Time, you guys, because this is where I'm from. This is my origin. If anything ever changes, like we go overseas and do something, then I'll let you guys know that we're overseas and we'll be using whatever time zone we're in. But for right now, let you guys know that April 26th, 27th, 28th, I'll be in Atlanta, right? And that happens to fall on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I have to drive Thursday. Okay. That way I can take some merch with me and sell something, right? Put the word of Flux out in ATL. And while I'm at the Urban Nerd Con, I'm going to go live, right? I've already been told that they have the Wi Fi and I'll be bringing all of my equipment. So we will do the show from there. It'll actually be 12, like noon there, but it'll be 10 a.m. here in El Paso or Mountain Standard Time. So they're just giving you guys a heads up on what's going to be going on. But we will film that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We won't film because again, I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll film Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We won't film Thursday, Friday, and Saturday that week. But I will be back the week later, and we'll be right back to normal. Okay, and I'll get that somehow streamlined so you guys very quickly understand it. Anyway, that's where I'm gonna be at the Urban Nerd Con in ATL. I want you guys to come out, join me. See what we're doing, see how far we go to push this story. To me, it's epic. I've been told that it's epic. I got a lot of people that organically have been actually, let's say following. And that's all I ask, right? The people follow and share. And when I have the right product at the right time, you guys already know you're going to be there to support. So anyway, Urban Nerd Con 26, 27, and 28. Okay, we got that, right? All right. So I do want to give a shout out to my well, they're more than sponsors, okay? They're the collaboration superpower. That's what they call themselves. Miss McCrae and Mr. Bemende, right? One takes care of mental illness here in the greater El Paso area. Miss McCrae does. And Mr. Bemende, he's the chief abundance consultant here in the greater El Paso area. When I say that, we include Las Cruces, New Mexico. For you guys don't know, it's almost like a sister city. It's like, depending on how you drive, okay? It's about let's say 45 minutes to an hour. It could go a little bit more if you drive the speed limit, but out here in Texas, we do about 80 on the road, right? 70 is our cruising speed, and we doing about 80 most of the time. All right. I mean, that's just what it is. Okay. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying, hey, we out here in Texas, right? In the greater El Paso and the Wild West. All right, y'all. Look. So anyway, let's get to it. So today we'll be doing W.L. White, like I already told you guys about him, right? It's a character in the Flux Continuum. He looks something like this, okay? Yeah, he looks like me younger, but he's a reporter, and he's gonna be well. Right now we've had Intech, right? So Intech has finally made it. The Zodiac Guardian for Libra has finally made it. He is completed. His transition from a human to an enhanced human, okay, to a dimensional guardian. So now we have who's coming up next. We have the documentarian, right? And the way I write this character, it's almost like he doesn't know we're watching him. He's just narrating, and he thinks about things that's happening in across the planet and stuff. And he'll give you his little commentary. It's just like his little show. If any of you guys watch sports, there's this guy. I'm sorry, I don't watch sports. His name is Steven something. Um, he I'm sorry, Steve. I not trying to be funny, but he puts me in like the son of George Jefferson. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all, my bad. Um, Don Lemon, Roland Martin. I guess they got other people out there because we watched Stephanopoulos, George Stephanopoulos. Anyway, all these guys have their own shows, and I kind of gave W.O. White the third his own show. It's bigger than a podcast, though. Okay, I just want y'all to know that. All right. So anyway, look, let's get into it, y'all, because I want y'all guys to hear. And what I normally do is I come in, I play the videos, and today we got two. So what I'm gonna do in the series to move it along, because we don't need to stop with W.L. White every time. So we're gonna let W.L. White um open for the character. Okay, anytime W.O. White is next to a character, we're going to allow him to open for that character. So today W.O. White will open, and then as soon as that video clip goes off, I'll put Jonathan Watson, and then we find out where Jonathan Watson is coming from. Okay, remember, he was the police in Hawaii who got hit with an orb. Okay, when the Enos and I forgot that guy's name, Enos and some other guy attacked, and the Barracuda gang attacked the PCPD while they were out, celebrating the big bust that day. So Jonathan Watson, now he'll be coming back today, and that's what you'll hear about. Okay, let me go ahead and put this stuff on and get you guys ready. Okay, let's see. All right, so I'm gonna put the jingle on, and then we'll immediately go into both of those clips, and then I'll come back and I'll do my little whatever I do, right? And let's get it going, y'all. Thank you everybody for who did show up today. Yes, technically I do have to go through why we're actually here. So if you guys look on, I hope I did it right. I hope I did it right. If you look on the clip, on the store that's on the video, you'll see that I have some stuff tagged to it. Okay, we have the 3-book bundle for $55, right? Each book will be autographed, company seal, company stamp. What else? Each book individually, okay, books 1 and 2 are 20 a piece. Okay, that's if you choose to just, hey, let me wade into the water and find out what's really going on in book 1 and 2. And then book 3 is 25, or it's a $10 discount, right? Coupon, basically, if you just go ahead and get it bundled. We have stickers over there if you just want to support. We have I finally put out these pictures right here. We only have so many of each one of the pictures you're looking at right now. This picture right here, Pulse, I only have one of those. So if you're a Taurus, this book right here, this mini poster was signed by me. I don't know if you guys can see that down there. It's signed by me and the artist OJ. OJ is a partner of mine. He's an illustrator, and he helped me write, draw some more updated versions of the Flux Continuum, guys. We were working on like a script and a few other things, but we'll get back to all that later. But these mini posts, I only have so many of each one. I can tell you that we have run out of Gemini. Just want to throw it out there, okay? Because all of these things that we put out now are keepsakes before I pop big, or before the Flux Continuum pops big. So anyway, let's go ahead and get it started. I'm gonna hit you guys with the jingle, and then let me turn this off. We're gonna hit you with the jingle, and then we will hit you with the two clips, and I'll be right back. DJ KB Money. Yeah. Now this a word of mouth jingle. Flux. Let's go. Cake top. Zodiac Guardian. Yeah. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Yeah. Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Zodiac Guardian. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Yeah. Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Zodiac Guardian. Where is mine? I gotta get mine. I need all the gear with the zodiac signs. Yeah, what's mine? I gotta find mine. I need all the gear with the zodiac sign. Capricorns, what's up? You so smart, you know what's up. All my Leos, you so fierce. Scorpios, they keep it good. All my Aries know you strong. Gemini can't get it wrong. Aquarius, Pisces, and Taurus, Leos, Virgos, yeah we go. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, yeah. Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Zodiac, yeah. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, yeah. Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Zodiac, Guardian. Purchase and donate at flux-zodiac.com. Yeah.
A Ceremony of Gifts and Powers, Chapter 3. W.L. White III, World Internet News, New York, USA, Earth. W.L. speeds through the streets of New York. He is desperately racing to the UN building. The radio is broadcasting reports of a futuristic man from space landing at the UN HQ. Once W.L. arrives at the UN building, there's complete and utter pandemonium. Every media outlet in the city fights for the perfect position. WL, over here! It's Charlene, his camera woman. I'm set up and ready to record, OG, she says while scrambling her way through the overly crowded mezzanine. I thought I told you to stop calling me OG. Have you seen the spaceman? WL asks as he tries his best to keep up with her. A hand reaches out and pulls him through the crowd. It's Charlene, and she points at something while replying. See for yourself, and welcome to the future, OG, Charlene says with a wicked grin on her face. WL watches as Intech walks across the courtyard. He's completely at a loss for words. Charlene has to snap WL out of his daydream while handing him a microphone, motioning for him to do his job and report. Quickly correcting and adjusting his tie, WL begins reporting on the event. Good evening, New York City, and welcome to World Internet News. I'm W.L. White III, and we are live today at the UN HQ. A man has landed on Earth from outer space. He is claiming to harbinger a message of an alien invasion to Earth. He states his name is Intech, and he was recently chaperoned into the UN HQ. He is currently being detained in a secure holding cell. All attending dignitaries have been alerted, and embassy leaders are awaiting further instructions. The human race now has reason to believe that man is not alone in the universe. World scientists are demanding that Earth's leaders approach this situation with extreme caution. After the press conference, WL begins compiling recent information of Intech's arrival. Once Charlene hacks the security cameras, WL is able to monitor Intech's actions. While monitoring the security cells, Intech accesses the internet using an advanced hollow quartz technology. After several minutes of working with the technology, Intech establishes an advanced virtual college online. He refers to the college as an information and query matrix, beta version 1. IQ_matrix.beta/earth/science/technology.theory. This technology will grant Earth's leading scientists an opportunity and the necessary exposure to create advanced and theoretical scientists. If we are to survive are the words currently greeting those that access the IQ matrix. There are category tabs in the IQ matrix that WL can't access. He did, however, notice that data is accessible in over 3,000 languages. Once a user receives authorization, a notification will be generated by the IQ matrix, which will include the user's login credentials. The list includes top government officials, military personnel, scientists, inventors, and engineers from every country around the world. While WL watches the IQ Matrix tutorial, a live video stream begins with a Texas senator. He is filing a petition with the county clerk at the U.S. Court of Federal Claims. Government agencies and several private organizations have come forward. Intech is being accused of revealing proprietary secrets and exposing information to the general public. Several of these files are currently classified above POTUS, President of the United States. Agencies are furious Intech is not adequately being detained. While confined to his cell at UNHQ, cameras stream video of Intech disabling the locks. As several agents attempt to apprehend him, their weapons malfunction and they're incapacitated. While navigating through the UNHQ, cameras show him addressing multiple people. A levitating translucent screen hovers near Intech as he calls names of individuals that should immediately report to the Security Council chamber. Agents are no longer attempting to detain him, aware of the results when any attempt is made to stop Intech. A source within the UNHQ claims Intech removed the hollow quartz helmet and appears to be a human male of Afro-Euro descent. His warnings of an alien invasion are being dismissed as fake news by leading government officials. A UNHQ spokesperson has stated, for the record, all UN officials are requiring evidence of the war coming to Earth. The leading scientists are attempting to prove how Intech is able to achieve his extraordinary abilities. Jonathan Watson, magnetosphere, electromagnetic field, Earth orbit, Milky Way galaxy. The universal forces that repel magnets with equal polarities protect the planet by deflecting the sun's harmful radiation. A unique energy signature randomly spikes throughout the magnetosphere. An alien object not of this reality expands into a male humanoid form, siphoning energy from the magnetosphere. A white cyanotech alloy encases the humanoid form, while blue Q-quartz protects the head and face. As construction of the exoskeleton nears completion, the orb wielder slumbers. As he wakes from days of celestial gestation, he's stunned by his surrounding location. What feels like a dream to him has become a reality. He immediately recalls the Imperial Codex, a series of programs embedded in the orb. It is a biocelestial genome capable of upgrading and amplifying neurological and cellular control centers. It enhances all biological networks and systems within a form. He recalls the omniversal gift that is bestowed to him, and he is aware that a great enemy is coming to Earth. The bioengine inverter NRG has become his new heart. I am one with the pulse, he thinks to himself. He is gifted with an uncanny and unbelievable power. Pulse's power is photon-based and grants him the ability to manipulate and control electromagnetics, EM. Pulse recalls the events of the ambush on the local PCPD at the Cove. His partner Carl took a bullet to the abdomen, and then Officer Watson experienced nothingness. In a sudden burst of power, Pulse descends to Earth at near faster-than-light FTL speed. He is unsure of his partner's fate. It is highly possible Carl did not survive. With thoughts of Carl's condition, Pulse vanishes in a burst of electromagnetic radiance. Instantly, he appears over the islands of Hawaii. Yes! He shouts as he plummets towards the island. Even with knowledge of his abilities, this is incredibly new to Pulse. A few days ago, he was a policeman. Today, he is an enhanced human capable of teleporting. Pulse hovers above the cove, bracing himself for the bad news. As he lands in front of the bar, a few civilians pull out their phones. When he walks into the bar, every customer freezes in their tracks. Several of the people whisper with excitement as each discuss the new spaceman that just arrived. When Pulse releases the cue cords from his face, a young woman stutters, John, is that you? The waitress doubts her eyes while approaching him. Yes, it's me, Cicely, Pulse answers with a smile on his face. Even as he inquires about Carl, Cicely screams at the top of her lungs. Relief washes across her face as she releases a barrage of questions. Is there going to be an alien invasion? How many of you are there? Another customer intrudes with her own inquiries. Are you here to protect the Earth too? Pulse barely hears what the intruding woman asks. Carl's health is his first concern. Where did they take Carl? What did you say, ma'am? Pulse asks with a bewildered look on his face. The woman motions for him to look at the television. A local news station is running a continuous story of a man arriving from outer space. He is at the UNHQ discussing an impending attack from outer space with world ambassadors.
Okay, y'all. All right, y'all. I'm back. Yep, I'm back. All right, so as we can see, we have W.L. White, right? We're going to go over him first because we showed him first, and that's the order, right, of the book. So W.L. White, this is me introducing the character in the book, right? W.L. White the third. I didn't know what else to do, y'all. I think I had made up so much. And again, like I keep reminding all the people, believe it or not, I'm like on book 5, and I did a lot of work before I even attempted to start writing this. So I had so many characters. And then besides, I wanted to be, like I thought about the whole reported thing, maybe, you had your own talk show or whatever, right? That's probably how I got into this podcast. But anyway, it was more about showing, I guess showing another side of me, if you will, right? So W.O. White the third, here he is. He's currently working at World Internet News. I didn't want to do any copyrights and go through a whole bunch of nobody can claim World Internet News, right? So I just threw it on there. And he's in New York. So when we left off with Intake, he had just got there, right? He had just landed the satellite. He had just caught the bullet. He let the stuff from his face let everybody see that he was human. Okay, and then so it's almost like we jump to W.L. White. And, he's driving, he's racing through the city, he's attempting to get to the UNHQ. He finally makes it. Right? And then there's the look. So I do introduce people that do your everyday thing. So if we ever came up with a Flux movie, Charlene would have to be there because she's technically his camera lady, right? Like she's a tech girl. I don't know, maybe tech woman. I don't know the politically correct way to say it, but she's like his tech girl. So anyway, tech woman, whatever. Okay, so she grabs him because again, she has initiative, right? And even Charlene, I put so much into each one of these characters. She shows up before he shows up to make sure he's prepared, right? That it just the way I think, right? If you're a lower ranking person, military, right? Or if I don't want to say subservient, I guess that's the wrong word, but if you have a boss or somebody that's senior to you in job related, then your job is to make their job easier. Technically, I mean, I don't know if anybody ever put that out, but your job is to do that. So that's what Charlene does, and she has him ready. And basically, she has her own relationship, and she does a lot of joking with it. But she basically lets him know, hey, let's do your job, in a joking way in the whole nine, and report. So it's kind of like, giving you guys a feel for W.O. White. He's getting older. He's graying a little bit and all of that, right? So anyway, he reports on the on the spaceman that he sees, right? I mean, it's amazing to him, right? I mean, think about it, y'all. If we could actually see it, and he's not the only one there. All the news, everybody's there. Any news company, any sister company, everybody's there because it's the place, right? It's the place where everything is happening. Um, and again, man is also dealing with understanding that we're not alone in the world, or wrong way to say it. We're not alone in the universe. If if a human shows up with some advanced technology, where'd they get it from? They either got it from the future, or they got it from another life form, right? Or another society. So that's just what it is. And it immediately tells us we're not alone, even if we can't understand those other individuals. All right. So Intech is he understands that Earth is ground zero. He gets it, y'all. Like, he's not an idiot. And remember, he can borderline pull information from all types of just awareness. You know what I mean? So he creates something I call the IQ matrix, right? Like India, Quebec matrix, right? Basically, it's an ever evolving information query, right? Like, you query something. That's basically like the internet's supposed to be, right? Technically, the internet, we can use Google. So it's kind of like that. The IQ matrix, you input or you submit whatever you want to know, right? And there's a lot of AIs going on in the story too. So AIs do all the work for you. So you say, hey, you put in after you watch the query and you get you an account on the IQ matrix, you just ask it like, I don't know, who is Intech, right? Who is Intech? And it'll compile all the information across the planet, and it'll give you a detailed report on who Intech is. That's kind of how the IQ matrix is. It can do live streaming. There's a whole bunch of things, but I do have a part in there where I explain all that, so I don't need to necessarily explain it right now. So anyway, Intake is doing all of this, and he's supposed to be confined in a cell. But remember, he has Q quartz bands on. So I know I did put this out, but again, if you're not trying, then you're not, you know what I mean? You're not trying, right? If you're not doing it wrong, sometimes you're not trying. So I know I put out that Charlene hacked into the security cameras and everything, and she was watching Intake, or let's say WL was watching Intake, like with the floating monitor, because he has Q quartz bands. Remember, he can turn that into anything he wants, theoretically, as long as he understands it. So he's inputting information, he's creating, he's compiling, he's basically created the IQ matrix. And it's like a floating. Only term I think I can use to it's a program, but it's more of like an app. And then, as we go on, I'll tell people get their own phones and you can convert it to an IQ matrix, because nobody will be using regular cell phones. Look, we'll get to it because it's a lot happening, y'all. Okay, so so Intake, I guess, get tired of sitting in his cell after he get through creating the IQ matrix, and he decides to leave. So WL's watching all this, right? So he's watching how Intake leaves his cell, because remember, he's trapped in he's being detained. So Intake gets to leave because on his own power, right? He just, with the Q quartz bands, right? He can do anything he wants to. He's greater than earthly science, if you will. So he's walking, and as the security guys, you know what I mean? They're not looking at him as how big he is. They looking like, hey, we can detain this dude, right? And they run over there, and as soon as they touch him, they just immobilize. It just basically, you just collapse on the floor. And, you'll get yourself together. It's like a semi-paralytic thing that happens. Pow, you try to detain him, you fell to the ground, you shake it off, you get back up. But every time you try, you can't fire weapons or nothing. You don't want to hit all the people, because remember, he's actually in the UN. So they will try to fire him, but they come on, man, he already called a bullet. They know what it is. And then he starts calling out certain people's names. Now, the reason I said that because they also have representatives at the UN, and he wants certain people all to meet him in the, what did I say? Meet at? They're supposed to meet in like the Security Council chamber. Okay, so that's like the big chamber that you see on the news where they have all the politicians together. It's just what I called it, y'all. It's what I called it. Also, there are people, I think I said a judge or maybe a governor or somebody, or a mayor. What I'm letting you know is, I know he said proprietary information, but it's more than just proprietary information that Intech is releasing. So basically, to tell the truth, you have to get rid of all the lies. So Intech has to release the true information, and some people don't want certain information out. It's kind of almost what's happening now in today's world, right? So information is being relayed to everybody across the plane. Remember, I just said all you have to do is inquire about the IQ matrix. So that's like us going to Google with our phones right now, and you say, hey, how can I get the IQ matrix? And then it'll say, click this button, bam, and then your phone is converted to an IQ matrix. Remember, Intech is way smarter than we are, okay? So he gets a lot of that. Oh, so for instance, he doesn't make a car that you have to go and buy another car every year, a phone you have to know. You just upgrade the data or upgrade the information in the phone. The phone should still be able to work. We shouldn't have to go and get new phones. Like, we shouldn't have to go and get new cars. You just pop out the piece, almost like a Lego set, right? You just pull out the piece that got chipped or that's no longer good, and you slide another right into that slot. That's just how it should be. It should be simplified. You know what I mean? Unless there's an accident or something. But anyway, that's what's going on. In with W.L. White. So now we know we have a reporter, and I call him the documentarian of the Flux Continuum, because he's the guy that kind of sometimes interacts with the heroes, but sometimes he's kind of like, he's a human, and he's like a human with no abilities. So he still has to tell it from a human perspective. That's why I keep saying, like, when you see the characters, and I keep explaining like how their eyes see things, because in the Flux Continuum, technically, if I shoot a beam at you, you didn't see the beam. That's for TV. That's so that our human minds can grasp it. Technically, if you shoot a laser, it's already gone. By the time your eyes, it's a laser moves as fast. Well, I mean, from like a laser gun, right? The laser that's fired moves so fast that it moves like the way our lights. And I don't know if you guys know how lights work, but technically the light is blinking all the time. It's blinking so fast that our eyes can't even see it. That's my understanding of how the filament and the lights work. So it's just something to think about, right? I sometimes with your camera, if you scan the TV, you'll see it blinking. I think that's because your camera slows it down a little bit. But anyway, that's what's going on, y'all. So we need to know that you get to see it from the human side, because remember, Earth is ground zero. Yes, we have to go to other places in the universe, but technically, Earth, paradisium, because it's considered paradise, it's ground zero. Okay, so look, that was W.L. White III, right? That's what he went through. That's kind of how he saw it. That was your introduction to that character. He's gonna be your documentary. He just pops up periodically, and he keeps you abreast of what's going on Earth. He is the speaker for Earth. Not necessarily. There are other people that's gonna show up too, but he is your documentarian of the Flux Continuum. All right. So then after that, we go to Jonathan Watson, right? That's the guy on your screen right now, Jonathan Watson. All right. I call him Pulse. He's electromagnetically inclined. Dope to me. He was the police officer that was you guys heard it, right? So let's go through, right? Jonathan Watson, where does he wake up? He wakes up in the magnetosphere. Where's the magnetosphere? Okay. Um, Again, maybe 10th grade, I think. You get to see the planet Earth, and they show you how the magnetic resonance radiates from the planet. Um, Nowadays, you could just probably look it up on YouTube, solar flare magnetic field Earth, and it'll almost show you a video on how the the solar flare bounces around the Earth. It can't get down to the Earth. Not saying that a solar flare isn't strong enough, because the star is stronger than the planet, right? But the solar flares and what we get, right, the radiation, it gets bounced off by the magnetic field that's around the planet. So the way I describe it is, if you ever had two magnets and you tried to push them together, there's a force between those two magnets. Can you push them together? Yeah, if you got the strength. But you can still feel that force between those two magnets. That's magnetic field. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we basically have around our planet, protecting us from, I guess, the ravages and the chaotics of space. I mean, if you think about it, because this is still built off the physics, right? I still wrote based off the laws of physics. Okay, so um yeah, I talked about the magnets repelling the alien. Okay, so the same thing happens, the pulse that happened to Intake. He's in the magnetosphere. He's basically being the orb comes back, he's being transported back to this reality, right? PU dash 432 dash 00.00. Okay, that is the prime universe. So he's being, because again, you already know who he's Taurus, right? He is the representative, the defender for Taurus. So he's been to the constellation of Taurus, and now he's coming back, and he's being transported back. So now, of course, the opposite, everything happens in reverse. There's light all around him, and the light has to be um the orb spews, if you will. It spews outside nanotech armor. Same thing, y'all. Same thing. And it just pulses design. His design looks different from Intake because remember, it's nanotech, which is psionic tech. That's what it technically, nanotech stands for, psionic tech, which means mental, right? So this is how he kind of sees himself. And what he does is, the orb spews out this nanotech armor, and it covers all the light, and then eventually the blue. So the blue Q quartz spews across the face of, well, the supposed to be face of light, the head, and there you go. So once he gets through actually coming all the way back to this dimension, he wakes up. It's like, oh, and he shakes off whatever he's been going through. All right. And we will find out what each one of these guys were going through in book 2. That's right. That's right. I can't give it all to you at one time. All right. So after that, yeah. Remember, these guys ain't never been to space, man. Hey, these just average everyday people, right? He was just a cop, man. He was a cop, he just did some good stuff, and then he wakes up and he's out, like, in the what did I call it? The magnetosphere. Okay. And I don't know how to explain to you all, because I know how they show the waves, but the magnetosphere is kind of out there. Okay. So that's where he wakes up at, and he's dealing with the electromagnetic field around the earth. That's where he wakes up at. And he finally gets it. How you start shaking it off. It felt like a dream, but man, like, that was real. He don't freak out or nothing, because technically it's like waking up after the flood. Okay, so there's a flood. I don't know if you guys ever been into, like, not a catastrophic, let's say if anything happened, right? Because I've been outside, even here in El Paso, and it's flooded. But let's say, like, everything is flooded in your house, maybe about 2 feet. Let's say you got it upstairs. So y'all stay up for so long, whatever. You eventually fall asleep and go to, right? When you wake up the next morning, you look over and you see, oh, there was a flood. Then it's almost like, kind of like that, like, oh, what? Just, it wasn't a dream. Process it and move forward. So it's kind of like that with these guys, because they already went somewhere and got what they needed, and now they're coming back, and it's like, wow, that was real. So that's what's happening to Jonathan Watson. Anyway, So I try to give you a little bit of what they did without telling you what they went through there. So remember, I already told you what the Imperial Codex is. It's a neural feed. Remember, it's like an MP4 that you can constantly play in your head, and it basically tells you what you can and can't do, how your powers work, all of that. You can speed through it. You can do whatever you need to. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say it's kind of like a MP4. They know what they can and can't do, but they can always recall the information and knowledge that they receive. All right, so upgrading and amplified neurological. Yeah. So okay, enhance that is bestowed to him. So he's even aware of the orb in his chest, and he knows he's already been briefed on it. This is just to give you guys some insight on, like, if a guy wakes up and he's not acting hysterical because he got abilities. Well, it's for a reason. And again, I'll let you guys see that reason in book 2. Yeah. So to me, the electromagnetic spectrum, it allows so many different attributes. And because our people are, I don't want to say greater than cosmic, let's say they cosmically imbued, right? Each one of these zodiac guardians have to be a specific power, because technically in real life, okay, and we based on physics here, you don't just get in a spaceship and then you fly to another planet and then you can just go about your business on that planet. That's not how things work in real life, okay? I know for cartoon purpose, you can get off the spaceship and you don't have to breathe, or somehow miraculously they doing the same. That didn't happen. That's not the same. Technically, you probably have to go into quarantine and everything. You have to stay shielded because you don't even know about their microbials and stuff. But look, we're not getting into all that. But that's why the characters have to have a certain amount of power. That's why they can't be, like lifting 2 or 3 tons if you flying out in space. What happens if you end up running past a gravimetric shock wave or something? Your body can't handle that. So you have to be a lot more powerful than most people would believe. That's why they're that powerful. Okay, that's kind of why I have to constantly reiterate, because I know most people look at, the hero is always weaker than its enemies and all that. Stop it. This is epic. Okay, and some of our people just happen to have power. There's a whole bunch of them that don't really hardly have any powers. Okay, y'all, and they coming. We just on page 56 right now. They coming. All right, and Post basically. So when Post says, I am one with the pulse. When it said, it says the bioengine inverter energy has become his new heart. So, it's almost like it's coming to his realization, like, wow, I know we can't see our hearts, but we know it's there. It's kind of like, wow, so this orb now is my new heart, and it's how I got all this power in me. But he says, I am one with the pulse. So you might see little things like that in the Flux Continuum. That's just me saying he took the name Pulse. He, not that he wanted, but he was like, wow, I'm one with the Pulse. And I just didn't go through, man, I'm gonna call myself Pulse. No, that's just his name. I am one with the Pulse. So he called himself Pulse. He has flashbacks, after you come back. What were you going through at the time? If you wasn't really doing too much, you probably okay. But he immediately remembers, after checking himself out, he remembers Carl, his partner Carl, right? That's his detective partner. And okay, so we know that Carl's okay, because we know Carl got up and we found out he had his second chance vest on, right under his clothing. But Jonathan didn't know. Well, we call him Pulse now because he's one with the Pulse. So Pulse didn't know what had happened because he had already been hit with the orb. And remember, the orb immediately immobilizes you, and then basically your body is engulfed in light. That's basically what happened. So anyway, he remembers him and he takes off. He's moving so fast that I guess he's like, wow, and then pow. So the fastest way he can move is to teleport. Now, I mentioned before, if the magnetic radiance is great enough, Pulse can teleport. If the magnetic radiance isn't, he can't. There are times when it could be in the middle and he might only be able to teleport himself. And he can't teleport other things and other objects. So if he was on the moon, we know that on the moon he can't teleport. It doesn't have enough magnetic radiance. Like technically, if you jump high, like if you got enough physical power, I know how they always tend to show us on the moon, but again, we can't even get the speed we need. But if you could, you jump too high, you can probably pretty much take off. Okay, it's not like it is here on Earth. You don't jump 3 feet and then come right back down real fast. You know what I mean? You come back down soft. So he can't teleport there. He can teleport here on Earth, and he can move huge things. He can teleport like great quantities, great mass. He can move great mass. Um. So anyway, Post ended up teleporting um to the cove because that's where he wanted to be. Right. That's where he remembered his boy. So he teleported there, and he was like, wow. So he teleported above it and he started falling. But, of course, since he can fly. But the thing about Pulse is he can only fly in a line of sight. Okay? He can't curve and stuff. He can't do that. He can't. Remember, he's moving near the speed of light. So he can't do all that bouncing around and curving. He can't do all that. He has to stop, not necessarily turn his power off, but he has to stop propelling himself, redirect himself, and then propel again. So, he looks like somebody who flies in angles, if you will. That's kind of how he looks. Anyway, so he goes back into the building, to the cove. That's what it was called. That's where, last place he saw his partner. And he goes in, he go, hey, what's up? Hey, y'all, he looked around, they see him, but he immediately, I don't know why. I guess I wrote it, but again, I was under what chemical duress. That means I was going through chemo when I wrote all this. So I don't know why some of the stuff happened the way it happened. Okay, y'all. I'm just being honest with you. I was going through some stuff, but I wanted to keep the continuity of everything that I dreamed and everything, all my notes and stuff that I was writing. That's why some of characters are females and then other characters are male, right? That's why it's so much going on. So even my own character, I'm born in February 29th, and my character came out to be a female. So I was like, oh, so I probably would have made her like a male if I would have been thinking different. Wow, I'm a guy, so I kind of see it as a guy, but then no, the notes. So I wrote all this from the notes that I wrote down while I was going through that traumatic experience. But anyway, Pulse goes in, and the first thing he does, he lets the I call it Q quartz. Okay, it's quantum quartz. It could be any color. It just remember it's connected to nanotech armor. Pulse sees himself the way he sees himself. So he lets the blue mask off his face, which is quantum quartz. He lets it drip off, and then one of the girls recognized her name's Cicely. Shout out to my big sis on the end, you know what I mean? My wife's sister, you know what I'm saying? Shout out, big sis. And Cicely sees him, and she screams and everything because she's excited. She thought he was dead. Everybody thought he was dead. And then he basically asks about Carl, but I mean they can't have a conversation because he's a spaceman, and they just got through hearing about Intech, and come to find out it's on the TV right now. And she lets him know because he was like, "What are you talking about?" And she was like, "Hey, there's another spaceman right there." He takes a look at the TV, and he sees the other spaceman. There you go. And that ends it, y'all. That's it right there. I got that under an hour. That's what's up. That's what's up. And then we'll start on page 58 tomorrow. Yeah, we moving, y'all. We moving through. We moving through. But this is just my rendition, y'all, on how maybe I kind of see things happening if some space people came to Earth. I mean everybody else and did all the greats, right? So anything you've done for 40 plus years, right? I think you should be like a subject matter expert on it. I've been following comics since I was 9. I'm 52 now, right? 40 plus years. So I made my own. I made my own, and now after you make your own, you have to like give it to the fans. So thank you guys for everybody who did show up, and thank you for all the people who do share and the ones who follow. I mean, because sometimes I see the notifications, I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. The people who come out and they like it and they put the little hearts and stuff on them, all that's so cool to me, man. That's cool. And I mean, the more I can put into it, the bigger we can grow. It'll get to a point where y'all can just eat and drink this stuff the same way I do. You know what I mean? It's zodiac based, right? It's based off your character, right? And you follow your character through the story. That's all you technically need, and all the characters will meet each other and everything. So you know what I mean. Your character can be doing something else, somewhere else in the universe. You know what I mean? Um, but look, I love the story. I'm happy about it. Um, I had a few people read it. They told me they like it. I spent a lot of time on Fort Bliss last year, selling it to the soldiers, the ones who were deploying or they were PCS into other places. And, these guys actually hit me up later on Instagram. They message me and Facebook and they tell me, hey, man, this is dope, man. We loved it. I'm like, damn, that's cool, right? So here we go, public. I'm bringing it to you now. We on the internet. Remember, y'all, we got the $55 bundle for all 3 books. I'll have it shipped out ASAP. Again, thank y'all for coming. I mean, because I don't know how else to say that. I see a couple of people show up and it's easier to carry a conversation because I don't have somebody here in front of me talking to, right? I can't see you guys. So, and also, maybe in April, I'm going to talk to a couple of people when I go to this NerdCon. I'm thinking of maybe having somebody else and we have a conversation. So maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, I don't know. Maybe we could talk about the things that's moving through sci-fi. Maybe what happened to some of the characters. Like I don't like when they change the characters. Um, Now I believe that you bring a new character, then let's introduce that new character and then make them stand on their own. And they could be like a sidekick or something. That's cool. You know what I mean? But they have to do their time. You can't just move from point A to point Z. And it's like, how did you make that character all that when they didn't put in work or nothing? You know what I mean? They haven't been through no world shattering stuff. But anyway, not to be complaining, but I want to bring some of those other independent creators like myself, and maybe we have a show and we talk about I went to see the new Godzilla, loved it, right? I liked it because the monsters were on the screen most of the time. I don't care which one, you know what I mean? But there was enough going on with enough monster instead of 20 minutes of monster and then an hour and 40 minutes of humans. I don't want to see a kaiju movie and look at humans the whole time. If I wanted that, then I could have went and just watched a movie probably next door. I'm just saying. But so in that aspect, me and another creator, we could sit up and we could talk about those little things, and or maybe they might say, maybe we could come up with some stuff. We can at least debate on it, right? Or have a little gaggle about it. But anyway, that's what you guys get to start seeing sci-fi at its best. Because in the PX, it could go down, y'all. It could go down like my CEO used to get on me all the time. She used to tell me, "Hey man, you and your boys can't come over here and start talking about Batman and Superman and who did what and how." She said, "This is Flux table," and she was right. But I mean, them guys come over there talking about anime and all that. I mean, come on, bro. Again, I look at physics. I don't look at like somebody of a great power being able to technically be on this planet. Everything is like paper to you, like cheap tissue paper, not the good tissue paper. I'm talking about like real cheap tissue paper. If you've been in the military, you know what I'm talking about. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get up out of here. Thank everybody for coming today. Y'all remember to check out the store. I'm gonna constantly be saying that. Y'all make sure y'all continue to watch. Remember this weekend, well, not this weekend, in a couple of weeks, on the 26th through the 28th, I'll be in ATL. We still gonna stream from ATL. We still gonna have Flux Vision. I want you guys to start seeing how I eat, breathe, and sleep this. And this is the way I plan on making it, and I can't do it without the people. So, wherever we start at, wherever we begin, hopefully, we can get further along. And you guys, with your help, I'm sure we can. So, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here because I have somebody in my ear always telling me you don't know how to just hang up. So I'm gonna just go ahead and hang up. All right, y'all have a wonderful weekend. But for everybody who's coming back tomorrow, plan on seeing you. Make sure you swing through. We're going to do W.L. White again. Yep, he's showing up again. And Marae Collins. Marae Collins, the young lady from El Paso, Texas. We will be talking about her tomorrow, okay? So we're going to find out what happened to her and what she can do and what type of abilities and all that, okay? All right, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all soon. Come on.